Hello, I am Stephen Epstein, and I have been defending DWI cases for more than 30 years. The holiday season can be full of festivities and socializing, but driving while impaired can ruin it and destroy lives, including yours and your loved ones. Please make the right choice and do not drive drunk. If you or a loved one have made that mistake, I am here to help. I've been defending DWI cases for more than 30 years. Others promise to do all they can. I am able to do all that can be done. Call me at 516-745-1500. BarkheadEpstein.com.
Curtis Sliwa is your upcoming host, and I'd just like to preemptively issue this disclaimer that the following comments from our upcoming host, Curtis Sliwa, do not necessarily represent the official positions of 77 WABC, our colleagues, our staff, our management, our ownership. Again, not necessarily in line with any upcoming suggestions about the drones.
Why do you feel the need to keep re-emphasizing that, James Flippin? Are you being told by ownership and management, or
no.
You're taking it upon yourself?
I'm taking it upon myself. You know, I actually am a resident of New Jersey, lifelong resident of New Jersey, and while you are encouraging our listening audience to take matters into their own hands, I would prefer that not happen. So I am preemptively
I am
issuing
encouraging, as I've done from day one, to cock your shotguns, put them in the air like you just don't care, and shoot down the drones, right?
That's been your position, yes.
And I see that Shamu El Jefe, Chris Christie, has now dubbed us vigilantes.
What we're going to find, George, is you're going to have individuals acting as drone vigilantes, and they're going to start taking them down.
So he's clearly labeled his nemesis, me, a vigilante, encouraging Jersey residents to not shoot bears, not shoot deer, in honor of my wife, Nancy, Miss Second Amendment, as you know, Annie Oakley, but rather to use those shotguns in the air to shoot down the freaking drones.
Here you have the former governor of New Jersey, a contributor at ABC News, basically saying, I don't want Curtis Sliwa shooting down drones in New Jersey. Because he said vigilantes. I mean, that's you. He's literally referring to vigilantes. They made the whole documentary calling you America's vigilante. So
no, get that straight. The world's number one vigilante.
The world's number one vigilante.
Don't take that
you.
Global crown away from me. All right.
I know, because in Japan, we've got a lot of.
You could say I'm the domestic champion. No. I'm the global champion. But wait a second. What's going on with this FBI? When I was birthed, FBI forever busting Italians. After 9/11, forever busting Islamists. After that, forever busting through into Mar-a-Lago and going through Melania Trump's undies and private, let's just say private accoutrements, right? Right? That's what they've been. Now they're warning us that we better not cock those shotguns and shoot them in the air. Is that what they're saying?
Yeah, they're basically saying that is, in fact, dangerous activity, possibly deadly activity. The FBI is saying do not open fire on these drones. Also, the FBI warning against the use of laser beams. So, laser pointers. People are like,
Good.
Oh, wait, is that one of them up there?
Am I talking about laser pointers? No. I'm talking about guns, shooting down drones, right?
Right. You're not talking laser guns. You're talking slugs.
How many times have you seen people with those milk crates, right? Those plastic milk crates? They walk around. Used to be when, spinning stacks of wax, somebody who was a DJ would have those, those plastic crates, the milk crates.
Yeah.
Did you ever see the advisory on there? It says, FBI warning. This is a federal crime to transport across state lines. Did you ever see that?
I never actually looked that closely, but
from now out, what is your local supermarket there in that? Where does he live? Belleville,
Bloomfield.
Oh, that's right. The better mayor is in Belleville.
There's a food town pretty close by.
Okay, so what I want you to do is be able to look at those plastic crates, that you get your LC milk containers in, and look on the side. It says FBI advisory: transporting these plastic crates across state lines is a federal crime.
Okay.
I just taught you something, huh? So does anybody listen to them about that? People transport their entire house in those plastic crates that they steal from the local supermarkets.
Okay, I wasn't aware that this is such a common method of transporting goods using these.
God, even hillbillies do that. Oh my God. Well, anyway.
All right. So anyway, your point is that there are other crimes that do not go enforced. So you're suggesting that people, in my opinion, foolishly
ignore that. Ignore the FBI.
Okay, right.
Do we even have an FBI director now? No, Ray resigned, right? He's gone.
Well, this is from the Newark field office. So you want to keep in mind that this is from the Newark field office.
Yeah, like I'm terrified, right? Hey, when you guys and gals actually stop and pinch people who are transporting their own personal items in those plastic milk crates where there's an advisory, transportation of these crates across state lines is a federal crime. FBI. It says it right there. All right, but let's get on to better things. Who's your mayor in Bloomfield?
It's a woman. She just got sworn in not that long ago. It used to be Mike Venezia.
She's a person of no consequence. Look at this Mayor Belleville. He's stealing all the limelight on this. Don't you wish after he was on Fox 5 that you lived in Belleville instead of Bloomfield? Because everybody would say, oh, you got a really good mayor. Remember what he was saying about the drones?
Bethany Frankel, I know she's not like, the New York Times, but she says that she has like some kind of contact at the Pentagon and that it has something to do with radioactive material in New Jersey. What are you hearing?
So here's what I know. I know that we were told by our state police that we have assets over our critical infrastructure. Now, depending on your point of view, that's either concerning or comforting. I think it's comforting because it's probably us listening and watching. We also know that we have drones that are flying in a grid-like pattern. In my opinion, they're looking for something. What might they be looking for? Well, potentially, we're aware of a threat that came in through Port Newark. Maybe that's radioactive material. There was and there is an alert that's out right now that radioactive material in New Jersey has gone missing on December 2nd. It was a shipment. It arrived at its destination. The container was damaged and was empty.
That's the best report we've had to date of what's going on. And it came from the mayor of Belleville. I mean, think of it. The mayor of Belleville gave us the best report of what's going on with all these drones and why they're flying high in the sky at night in New Jersey and in other area states.
Well, there's been speculation that they're looking for nuclear material, radioactive material, trying to find signatures of potential radioactive activity. But, again,
nobody said it. Nobody said, please. I need you, Lou Ruffino, to play that cut again. I want you to listen to a real mayor. Unlike, what's the name of your mayor there in Bloomfield?
Jenny Mundell.
Yeah, you probably never heard her speak. You probably didn't even know who the hell she was.
Actually, it says downtown you could park for free right now because it's the holidays. And it says courtesy of Jenny Mundell.
Yeah, that's all you care about, right? That's all. I want you to listen to a professional mayor here, Michael Mellum of Belleville.
Bethany Frankel, I know she's not like, the New York Times, but she says that she has like some kind of contact at the Pentagon and that it has something to do with radioactive material in New Jersey. What are you hearing?
So here's what I know. I know that we were told by our state police that we have assets over our critical infrastructure. Now, depending on your point of view, that's either concerning or comforting. I think it's comforting because it's probably us listening and watching. We also know that we have drones that are flying in a grid-like pattern. In my opinion, they're looking for something. What might they be looking for? Well, potentially, we're aware of a threat that came in through Port Newark. Maybe that's radioactive material. There was and there is an alert that's out right now that radioactive material in New Jersey has gone missing on December 2nd. It was a shipment. It arrived at its destination. The container was damaged and was empty.
Isn't that so much better than anything we've heard so far from your governor, half in the bag, Murphy, who's too busy drinking Irish car bombs at night? A little Irish sherry, a little Irish whiskey in Guinness. Down the hatch he goes. He's on a bender. He's got Jake Leg, Rum Rouge. You never get a straight answer from him. Hey, this Michael Mellum. I mean, this guy should be spokesperson for the governor's office. Yes, yes or no?
I think that what's happening here is you have some of these higher-up officials, whether it's the federal guys or Governor Murphy or even some of the congressmen who have said, look, we've got classified hearings surrounding this. Clearly, they don't want to panic the public.
Oh,
who's going to think
they,
that there's some sort of like dirty bomb going around?
Excuse me,
and then everybody floods out to Pennsylvania or down to Maryland or something like that.
Excuse me, they've already spotted them in Pennsylvania and Maryland, as you know. Former Governor Hogan, they lost in the Senate race. He spotted them right outside
the drones. Yeah, they're all over the place now. But I mean, how would that explain?
Why are they all over the place?
Why would that explain them being in San Diego or Oregon? To get from, I mean, maybe it flew. Why are they only looking in coastal areas?
So you don't want to any longer focus on New Jersey, which is drone central. Nice attempt to digress, right? To do a pivot and shift. But we're talking about your home state, which you would have to admit has more reports of drones than any other state in the nation. Am I correct?
Yeah, they started earlier there.
All right, so I want you to listen to the best mayor in New Jersey, not like your mayor. What's her name there in Bloomfield?
Jenny Mundell. But let's keep in mind that this is the Pasta Parkway. So there's a lot of connectivity, a lot of cohesion from Belleville to Nutley to Bloomfield, little Pasta Parkway there. So we have a lot of,
No. You say pasta, Wasp. I say macaroni. It's the macaroni highway. And you know what you are? You're trying to be a spaghetti bender here. Don't push your luck here, Wash Boy. You know, you're dancing on a fine line here, okay? When it comes to Italian stuff, since I'm a mutt, I'll deal with that, all right? Do we have an agreement on that?
All right. I mean, I guess I feel like I'm Italian by osmosis living in Essex County, but that's okay.
Oh, because you live along the Macaroni Highway, right? A.K.A. the Pasta Highway. So let's listen to what the better mayor in New Jersey, the mayor of Belleville, Michael Mellon, is saying instead of your mayor who's taking the coat of Omerta. By the way, what is this mayor of no consequences name again there in Bloomfield?
Jenny Mundell.
Yeah, Jenny Mundell. Yeah. And there's free parking downtown. There's free parking.
Why is she catching strays for that?
Oh, my God. That's a claim to fame.
They put the plastic bag upside down over the parking meter, and they say "Happy Holidays" from Bloomfield.
It's free parking.
Free parking.
Did they cover up the statue to Joe Piscopo there? You know, he always says, I'm from the North Ward in Newark, Bloomfield Avenue. He's a liar. He's from Bloomfield, New Jersey, right? Did they put the statue up to him in that park? What is that freaking park there that they have there in Bloomfield?
I mean, Watsessing Park is near me, but I don't think that's the one you're talking about.
No, there's another one. I mean, that's it.
You're thinking of the one that's partly in Newark, like Branch Brook.
Yes, Branch Brook, okay, right, where Forest Hills is in the North Ward. Not Forest Hills in Queens, Forest Hills in Newark. Okay, we're back on track. Listen to what Michael Mellon, the best mayor in all of Jersey, has to say about why President Donald Trump will not be going to Bedminster this weekend.
So apparently it is concerning. Even the president-elect, who I'm sure gets some kind of briefings on things, he says he's not going to his home in Bedminster, right?
Yeah, I listened to him yesterday. He no doubt gets the same exact briefings that President Biden gets. He says our government knows. He says our president knows. And he also ended with saying, I'm not going to be in New Jersey this weekend.
Notice, this guy has a savoir-faire. He's got a very comforting way of conveying what could be very frightening news to the most congested state in the nation, New Jersey. Right? 9 million condensed from crooked Camden to crooked Hoboken and every little town, village, and borough in between. I mean, look. That was a comforting message. He gave us all the facts like Sergeant Joe Friday, but in a very comforting way. Unlike the fear, fright, hysteria, and hype that's going on nonstop. And you're having the bad Governor Murphy, who might as well already check out into rehab. I mean, he might as well and just dry out. Maybe the Betty Ford Clinic, has a alcohol rehabilitation tank, a drunk tank for him, okay? I mean, you can't give a 5-star top shelf marks to half in the bag Murphy, can you?
No. I mean, that's, ever since his knuckleheads focus during COVID days, I've certainly not been given any stars to Murphy. But
wait a second. I agree. He calls Jersey residents knuckleheads. You had a chance to unelect him. Mm-hmm. And who did they vote for? Over Jack Citarelli, who's right out of Central Casting. Who did they elect? Who did they elect for a second term?
Yeah.
The graduate, the special ed graduate of Gold Mine Sachs, Governor Half in the Bag Murphy. What is it about residents in New Jersey?
Well, you know what?
John Corzine. What is his claim to fame? A graduate of Gold Mine Sachs.
I have to say, it's a little bit kind of enough at this point, because I'll take Governor Murphy, somebody who's opposing congestion pricing, over Kathy Holcomb, okay? And I'll take him any day of the week over Kathy Holcomb.
Kathy Holcomb is Irish, right, from Erie County. She can look out her window and actually see Ontario, and that is true, across Lake Erie. So let me see, who can drink more Irish car bombs? Governor Murphy, Irish, or Kathy Holcomb, Irish?
If I had to guess, I would guess that Governor Murphy has that one.
You're damn right. And remember, how do you make a Irish car bomb again?
You've corrected me a couple of times here. I was under the impression
sherry.
It was just the whiskey shot going down into the Guinness, but you also said that it has to have Irish cream?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
Got to put it in. Okay. So remember, the next time you're in an Irish gin mill, you tell them, hey, this wasp here, right, who sided with the Protestants, the Orangemen, who wanted to kill all Catholics years and years ago. I want my Protestant Irish car bomb. And somebody who hears that will have flashbacks to the days of the IRA. And, oh, boy, James Flippin, they'll give you a car bomb, all right.
All right.
Half a stick of dynamite in your exhaust pipe. So do me a favor, Orangeman. Get the hell out of here.
Sliwa.
Janine Pirro here with an urgent warning. While we celebrate Trump's historic win, inflation continues to drain your IRA and 401k. And China is now targeting your money with a kill shot on the dollar. That's why thousands of Americans are shielding their savings with gold and contacting the experts at Colonial Metals Group. For a free 2024 gold guide that explains everything, go to freegoldguide.com/Pirro, Pirro, or call 800-965-8004. Don't let America's enemies ruin this victory and steal your retirement money. The experts at Colonial Metals Group are the only folks that I trust to bulletproof your wealth in gold. Go to freegoldguide.com/Pirro or call 800-965-8004. 800-965-8004 for a free 2024 gold guide to learn how you can protect your life's work and if you can qualify for a free home safe and up to $7,500 in free silver now. freegoldguide.com/Pirro.
This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Upgrade your business with Shopify, home of the #1 checkout on the planet. Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning fewer carts going abandoned and more sales going cha-ching. So if you're into growing your business, get a commerce platform that's ready to sell wherever your customers are. Visit Shopify.com to upgrade your selling today.
Run a restaurant and you learn pretty quick. The sound of a crisp fry starts way before the first bite. As delivery and to-go keeps business booming,
Order for pickup.
McCain's SureCrisp fries keep orders crispy.
Hey, delivery.
After the trip, the crispiness comes through. McCain's SureCrisp fries. Go the distance. See how far our fries can take your business at surecrisp.com/delivery.
Burn it, Sliwa. Rip and read. Check this out.
This is the Rip and Read, featuring Curtis Sliwa. Now, to the Bernard McGurk studios of 77 WABC and Curtis Sliwa. This is the Rip and Read.
You know, whenever I think of Billy Joel, I think of Andrew Evil Eyes Cuomo, and I think of the owner of the Knicks and the Rangers and the Rockets, Madison Square Garden, Radio City Music Hall. The guy was born on third base, cannot chew gum and think at the same time. The three of them, the three amigos, on their Harleys out in Long Island. But the other Long Island guy came out of Levittown, Bill O'Reilly, and Bill O'Reilly put a nail into Eric Adams, swagger man with no plans, coffin yesterday. I don't think people really noted what he had said on the 5 o'clock roundtable discussion with John Katzimatidis and Rita Cosby. He'll probably extrapolate on that tomorrow with Sid right before the Christmas holiday. But I'll give you a little bit of the hors d'oeuvre, and that's why you want to be listening tomorrow to Sid Rosenberg, and I'm sure that Bill O'Reilly will serve up the entree on this.
What I see in 25 is Adams dropping out of the race, Cuomo getting in. Cuomo probably will win.
Could I hear that one more time, Lou Ruffino?
what I see in 25 is Adams dropping out of the race, Cuomo getting in. Cuomo probably will win.
Let me explain why this opening has occurred. With the impending indictment of Ingrid Lewis Martin, the Rasputin aide-de-camp to Eric Adams, swagger man with no plan, she knows where all of his bones are buried and who buried them by Alvin Bragg. She is ready to become a cooperating witness. She is seeking a proffer. She will get it because Bragg now wants Eric Adams' scalp since he's become a MAGA man to save himself from federal prosecution and obviously a conviction. So Cuomo, who has moved into New York City from the compound of his brother Fredo out in Southampton, is digging in and is preparing to announce in the latter part of January, because he's not all fuzzy. He's getting frisky, and he's telling you he's ready for a Democratic primary battle.
First of all, I'm not fuzzy. I don't want to be fuzzy. I don't even know what fuzzy means. I'm from New York. We don't have fuzzy in New York.
And he's flexing as he basically tells everybody about the very thing that he's grown up in, politics.
Politics today is different than anything I've seen. It is a toxic, mean, ugly, fear-driven process. I believe what you're seeing is not toughness. You're seeing politicians who are afraid.
And that's exactly what Eric Adams, swagger man with no plan, is at. He is showing fear, fright, and hysteria, especially after the federal judge said, no, all the bribery charges are staying. I expect to see you in court on Friday. The mayor, once again, is going to be in federal court. And you just notice there's no fight in him left. Listen to what Eric Adams, swagger man with no plan, says.
The first 2 years, there was just too many fights. And I don't want to fight anymore. I want to enjoy my city, and I want to enjoy the people of this city. And if those who want to hurl names at me, they don't know my commitment to this city. And whomever said that, all I can say to them is that I love them and I'll pray for them.
Oh, yeah, right. He all of a sudden, Justin Ellick, he's loving me. I've been his number one critic. I just want to hear that resonated. I want to hear that on a loop.
I don't want to fight anymore. I don't want to fight anymore. I don't want to fight anymore. I don't want to fight anymore.
Like Roberto Duran, hands of steel. No mas, no mas. He's given up. And when he goes into court Friday and he faces that judge, he's going to know that without a pre-pardon, he's dead on arrival. And just to let you know, everyone is saying that Cuomo's going to jump in. So I'm prepared for you, Andrew Evil Eyes Cuomo, King Cuomo II, the son of Mario Faccia Bruta Cuomo, King Cuomo I. And let me give you a little bit of advice. Andrew, ascendeme tu siu provianos facim. And like your father, you are. Let's bring it on, Andrew. Let's bring it on.
This episode is brought to you by Amazon. The holidays are here, and you know what that means. It's time to get your friends and family the gifts they deserve. Take the stress out of shopping with Amazon's great deals and low prices on a huge range of items from toys to tech and much more. Whoever you're gifting for, Amazon has great prices on everything you need this holiday season. Shop last-minute deals now.
Hey there, podcast enthusiasts. Are you tapping into the potential of podcasting to boost your brand? Here's something remarkable. 67% of the U.S. population tunes into podcasts. That's not just listeners, it's a community. And let me tell you, the emotional bond between listeners and their favorite podcasts is stronger than ever. Don't just take our word for it. Visit catsdigital.com to explore success stories from advertisers who trust podcasting to deliver results. Discover more at katzdigital.com.
Weight loss. It needs to be fast and sustainable. Noom GLP-1 starts at just $149 and ships to your door in 7 days. Take it from Marcos, who's loving his journey with Noom GLP-1.
I'm getting to where I want to be. I'm in such a good place right now, and I'm very confident that I'm going to be able to continue this weight loss, this journey, and really make a true lifestyle change.
Don't believe it? Take it from Cam, who's gaining more confidence with Noom GLP-1.
I really am starting to feel better. Like, I feel a lot lighter. I feel a lot happier. I feel a lot more confident. I just feel a lot more like myself. I don't feel so bogged down every day.
$149 GLP-1s? Now that's Noom Smart. Noom, the smart way to lose weight. Get started with Noom GLP-1 at Noom.com. That's Noom.com. Real Noom users compensated to provide their story. Individual results may vary. Not all customers will medically qualify for prescription medications. Compounded medications are not reviewed by the FDA for safety, efficacy, or quality.
Now to the Bernard McGurk studios of 77 WABC and Curtis Sliwa.
Curtis doesn't know about you, but he rips and reads.
This is the Rip and Read.
Let freedom ring. Let the white dove sing. Let the whole world know that today is the day of a reckoning. Let the weak be strong. Let the right be wrong. Roll the stone away. Guilty past Independence Day.
What we heard with Sid Rosenberg this morning, two guys who grew up in the greater New York area. You heard Sean Hannity, the rock-ribbed all-American conservative voice of reason from Franklin Square, Long Island. On with Kid Midwood, Sid Rosenberg. You had Bill O'Reilly, came out of Levittown. Yours truly, Curtis Sliwa, came out of Canarsie. So there's sort of like a connection of sorts in that we all grew up in relatively the same area, all made our bones in radio in different degrees. But I had never heard Sean Hannity on before with our own Sid Rosenberg, and they clearly are friends. They clearly were having a conversation again. That's what makes Sid Rosenberg such a good interviewer, is that he doesn't ask the typical kind of questions that you ask, in which you're not even listening to your guest give an answer. You're already thinking of your next question. He has conversation. And he had that with Sean Hannity this morning, in which he got down to the fact that, Sean, how come you packed your bags and you left here? You ended up going down to Florida, and that's your permanent location now.
When people started running out of New York like it was on fire, you had thousands of people on I-95 South. I was the one guy on I-95 North because I had a great job waiting for me in New York. But you decided to make the move, and I know what you're going to say. I know it. I love New York, but it's the best decision I ever made, right?
Best decision I ever made. I don't love what New York's become.
Right.
That's the honest truth. Did I love New York? Would I rather be in, our friend Curtis Lee would always say New York born, New York bred, and when I die, I'm going to be New York dead. And by the way, for Curtis, that's 100% true. Him and Mark Simone, I've never been to an event in New York where they're not there, ever. And I don't go to many events in New York.
That's true.
And, but they're both like you. They're great guys, and I love them to death.
It was great, Sean, talking about the old days when he was here and how often we would cross paths. In fact, originally when he came in from Atlanta and was on from 11 to 2 at night at WABC, I was on before him and segued in to Sean Hannity, who eventually did Afternoon Drive, and you know the rest of the story at the old WABC. Well, Sean went on to discuss what were the reasons that he and others decided to pack their bags and just leave an area that they probably never thought they would ever leave, whether it's Sean Hannity, whether it's Sid Rosenberg, who was away in Boca Raton for many years, but just thought that they would never leave here.
We had two governors in a row. We had, I don't know if you remember Governor Cuomo saying, if you're one of those extreme conservatives, that's pro-life and pro-Second Amendment and I'm not anti-anything. Yeah. I'm pro-freedom. He goes, "You're not a New Yorker, and there's no place in New York." Remember he said that?
Oh, yeah. In fact, Sean, your wish is what I deliver.
Are they these extreme conservatives who are right to life, pro-assault weapon, anti-gay? Is that who they are? Because if that's who they are, and if they are the extreme conservatives, they have no place in the state of New York.
Damn, that was a pretty damn good imitation by the rock-ribbed all-American conservative voice of reason from Franklin Square, Long Island, Sean Hannity, of Andrew Evil Eyes Cuomo, King Cuomo II, the son of Mario Faccia Bruta Cuomo, King Cuomo I. And then he cited the second governor that accelerated his departure.
Then you got this genius, Madam Commuter Tax and Sanctuary City, your governor now, that is saying to Lee Zeldin and those Trump conservatives, get on a bus, go down to Florida where you belong. I'm like, so I got on a bus. I went down to Florida where I got on a plane. But
yeah, you listened, and it worked out well.
And in fact, your wish, Sean, is what we have conjured up round two.
The fate of democracy in this country. That's what we're fighting for, my friends. We are fighting for democracy. We're fighting to bring government back to the people and out of the hands of dictators. And we're here to say that the era of Trump and Zeldin and Molinaro, just jump on a bus and head down to Florida where you belong, okay? Get out of town. Get out of town. Because you don't represent our values.
And they did in droves. And they continue out of fear. They're reverting to flight. And those buses for a long time were being packed with illegal aliens on the way back. Welcomed by Kathy Hochul, it's full of nonsense. Eric Adams, swagger man with no plan, who's now trying to do a pivot and shift and saying he was always opposed to the migrants. It was forced on him. Bullschnizzle, bullschnizzle, bullschnizzle. But Sean Hannity represents a lot of people who have left the nest here in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Eastern Pennsylvania. He represents a lot. And we know maybe they come back for visits on occasion, but they're never coming back. They've left. It's a drain of the northeast sector. And, yeah, they go to Florida mostly, even after the two hurricanes, back-to-back, belly-to-belly. It's hard to get flood insurance. It's hard to get property insurance. Car insurance is going through the roof. It doesn't matter. People still want to go to Florida. Every day they're on that I-95 corridor. They're heading out of here. And he said he's not coming back.
by the way, I'm not going back. I visited like twice this year because they just chase people that leave New York. They still want your money, but they chase you. So I've hired an army of attorneys and accountants and had a list of 70 things I had to do to make sure that my residency is in Florida. Because, it's unbelievable. And by the way, that 181-day thing is baloney.
Yeah.
I live in Florida. I am a full-time Florida resident.
You know, Derek Jeter found that out. He built this huge mansion in Tampa near Yankee spring training headquarters. And he tried to say that he lived down in Florida most of the time, 181 days plus. And the revenue agents of the city of New York and the state of New York went at him and said, no, you don't. You're still New York through and through. And they just kept taxing him. So if it ain't the crime, the quality of life, the lack of good schools, we can go on, falling down public transportation system. Now they're going to kick in congestion pricing. Folks continue to flee. And then, of course, there's Eric Adams, swagger man with no plan, who acts like he is reformed, he is resurrected, he's soon to be a MAGA guy himself. In fact, the latest details are he has instructed his police detail that gets assigned to him by 12-person shifts. Some of them stay at Gracie Mansion in the basement. Some are at City Hall. Some travel with him, his entourage. That at any moment he may get the signal from Mar-a-Lago. It's got to be wheels up, whether he goes to Teterboro Airport or whether he goes to LaGuardia or JFK, wherever. and he's going to Mar-a-Lago for a pre-meeting because he's intent on being at the inauguration of Donald Trump, 47th President of the United States, on January 20th. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if he's not rocking a new style MAGA cap. It'll say, "Make New York City Great Again," MNYCGA. I guarantee you that. It's all in the cards. But I don't know what it is about Democrats here in New York City and New York State. They're always encouraging people to leave. They always want them to get the hell out of here.
You were here before Starbucks. You were here before others came and decided they wanted to be part of this city. Folks are not only hijacking your apartments and displacing your living arrangements, they displace your conversations and said the things that are important to you are no longer important. And they decide what's important and what's not important. Go back to Iowa. You go back to Ohio. New York City belongs to the people that was here and made New York City what it is. And I know I'm a New Yorker. I protected this city. I have a right to put my voice in how the city should run.
Can I translate that, Lou Ruffino? Basically, crackers, if you just came into this city, just pack your bags and get the hell out of here. Go back to Iowa, go back to Ohio. He ain't talking to the brothers and sisters. He ain't talking to the Latinos and Latinas. He ain't talking to the Asians. He's talking to white crackers, hipsters and millennials who come in living off of blind trusts, very naive. Very much not aware of the history of New York City. He's basically telling them, get the hell out of here. Look, we got some serious problems. Forget Andrew Evil Eyes Cuomo, who now wants to run for mayor. He sees his opening and will be announcing in January. You'll hear that from Bill O'Reilly tomorrow with Sid Rosenberg, exclusively here on WABC. It's not about Kathy Hochul, who's going to be running for re-election, even though this state is sinking into the abyss. It's all about control of power. And, of course, Eric Adams, swagger man with no plan, doing anything he can to avoid going to jail. There's a special cell for him in the federal system. It's the Shelley Silver cell of corruption in Otisville. And just yesterday, when that federal judge said, no, we're not removing any of these 5 indictments, you're charged with bribery. It's not gifts and gratuity like everybody is saying. No. Don't give Eric Adams a pass. Listen to the federal judge. It's about graft. He's a grifter. It's graft. And the biggest problem we have in New York City and why the continued flight because of fear, no better person to put it all in perspective than Steve Sciarippa.
Are you confident that New York will be back? He says it's back already.
No, I think we're doomed.
Really?
I'm not confident at all. I think we're finished. I think it's so broke it can't be fixed.
Really?
That's what I see. When I took a walk. I mean, I walk all over the city, you know that. But for some reason, I wind up on 8th Avenue. You go from 8th Avenue. You walk up there, you're in hell, man. You're in hell. Go like from 34th Street, 33rd Street, 32nd Street, up to 57th. You're in hell.
It's true. The junkies,
it's horrible.
the
There's
homeless.
Junkies. There's beggars. There's junkies. There's migrants. I mean, we're giving the migrants money. We put them in a hotel. We give them phones so they could rob us. They're here to rob us. They're not here like our ancestors to do better and to make better lives for themselves. They found a bunch of suckers, and we're it.
And, Steve, I'll be on 8th Avenue in just about the next hour to be able to walk that same corridor of crime, of drug dealing, of homelessness, and emotionally disturbed persons, and report back to you when I come on with Dominic Carter at the very end of his show, 3:50 to about 4 o'clock when we do the Tunnel to Tower review right before James Golden.
Now to the Bernard McGurk studios of 77 WABC and Curtis Sliwa.
Curtis doesn't know about you, but he rips and reads.
This is the Rip and Read.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? Or what you gonna do when they come for you? You chuck it on that one, you chuck it on this one, you chuck it on your mother and you chuck it on your father, you chuck it on your brother and you chuck it on your sister, you chuck it on that one and you chuck it on me. Bad boys, bad boys.
No, bad boys, bad girls. What you gonna do when they come for you? Justin Ellick, have you ever contemplated a life of crime? Just become a porch pirate, and there's absolutely no consequences whatsoever. I would say the two areas of, we'll call it being self-employed. Stealing packages that are being delivered by Amazon, USPS, UPS, DHL, any of the package delivery services. And I guarantee you, Justin Ellick, you will never get pinched if you decide to become a porch pirate. Now, going into stores like Duane Reade, CVS, Walgreens, and basically acting like a locust through the cornfield as you shoplift and you boost the products, small likelihood that you'll get arrested. Sometimes if you make the mistake of copping over $1,000 worth of goods, if you got a good store detective, if in fact you got a good cop locally, they'll hit you with not a petty larceny, but main larceny. So there you'll get arrested. But normally the safest route to committing crime, knowing you're never, ever in a million Sundays going to get arrested, not even stopped, not even questioned, not even searched, not even checked for ID. I don't care where you live throughout the tri-state area. It's being a porch pirate. Just in New York City alone, and that number is increasing because we're in the holiday season now, and there are many, many more deliveries. 90,000 packages a day get stolen. 90,000 a day. Now, for many, many months, people would say, Curtis Sliwa, you were making that up. I had critics who were saying, that is an outrageous amount of packages. Curtis, you're just trying to make the mayor look bad. You're trying to make the police look bad. No, I'm telling you the facts. And in fact, a better source of that information isn't Curtis Sliwa, because I get it secondhand. Justin Ellick. Let's let them know, in fact, Lou Ruffino, who first said that.
When you look at the surge of at-home deliveries, you're also looking at the surge of theft. Almost 90,000 packages being reported stolen or lost every day in this city.
90,000 every day. And he says, lost, get out of here, lost, maybe a handful, and almost all of them stolen. Can I hear that one more time, Lou Ruffino? Again, I was accused for many, many months of making up that number to make the city look bad, the police look bad, and especially the swagger man with no plan to look bad. But he eventually had to admit, once again, Curtis Sliwa was right.
When you look at the surge of at-home deliveries, you're also looking at the surge of theft. Almost 90,000 packages being reported stolen or lost every day in this city.
So think of it. When you know there are no consequences and you want to engage in crime, this is the safest and quickest way to do it. You follow the trucks as they leave their depots. Federal Express, USPS, the Post Office, UPS, DHL, Amazon, whichever package delivering service you're deciding to follow. And as they deliver, you snatch up. If they deliver it on a porch of a private house, you go onto the porch soon after and snatch up the package. And even though their bell that now is like hooked in, to Amazon itself, and they record everything, when you go to the ringer bell, and you actually look in the ringer bell, you could be waving to them. You could be saying, suckers, we got this package, show them, and there'll be no consequences. Nobody gets arrested in the 5 boroughs of the city of New York. Nobody gets arrested in the outer boroughs. You almost inevitably never hear of people getting arrested for being porch pirates. It's the easiest crime to commit, and it is a gateway crime. You start as a porch pirate, and you feel your oats like nothing can happen to you. You're an untouchable. 60 million packages a year get stolen in the United States. and a vast majority of them from Thanksgiving on to Christmas. Every day there are armies out in our suburbs, in towns, in boroughs, in villages. It doesn't matter. Out in Long Island, in the Mid-Hudson Valley, over in New Jersey, in eastern Pennsylvania, throughout Connecticut, and, of course, the 5 boroughs. And they are scouring up and down the streets. They are making it extraordinarily well known that they are porch pirates. They drive up in a demolition derby reject, right? Everything on that car is a stoppable offense. The cops could stop them, write them up, tailgate missing, lights missing. I mean, just a mess. And the cops don't even stop them. Everybody knows what they're up to. Cameras on every building that deliveries are being made to. I mean, we're all wired up now, no matter where you go. And yet they're on video. They don't wear masks. They don't wear hoodies. They boldly, brazenly, they look up at the cameras. They show the packages that they're stealing. In fact, many of them break into the packages while it's on camera and basically say, like MC Hammer, you can't touch this. So how are you going to get control of crime when the easiest crime to make a detention and an arrest, because they have the evidence right on them, a package delivered to a business, a package delivered to somebody else, which is not your name. And yet the police departments have been told, don't do it. It'll make the crime stats go through the roof. We want to act like crime is down, like it is just a perception of yours that there's crime. 90,000 packages a day get stolen in New York City and nobody gets arrested.